Hi, everybody, and welcome to Chair Yoga. This is week 2 of our study of the 8 limbs of yoga. So week 2 brings us to back to the yamas and the niyamas. And I've chosen a yama and a niyama for each of our classes. And today we move into the second one along the line of the yamas. And I'll kind of give you a refresher here in just a moment, but just to set the stage, it's called Satya. Satya is translated as truthfulness. And the yamas, if you can remember me giving you a little intro last week, it's like the yamas and the niyamas are sort of like the 10 commandments because there are 5 precepts in each one of those. I'm just using that, you know, comparison because we're familiar with, that the 10 commandments meaning some kind of direction to follow. And so this is kind of like that. The yamas are the 5 precepts of the yamas have to do with our relationship with others. So I always consider it like a horizontal line or a horizontal, because it's how we relate outside of us to other people. Whereas the niyamas is more of a vertical line. So it more or less gives us some guidance for relating to ourselves, to staying on a path that is aligned to our true nature. Just as a general way to understand. So today and this week, we're working with Satya as the yama, and that is truthfulness. And the niyama, my favorite only because it's so fun to say, and for other reasons, svadhyaya. It's called svadhyaya, and that translates as self-inquiry. So that is a self-study, self-examination idea, and that certainly has been a big part of my journey. So I guess I take to it for a lot of different reasons. So let me just give you a little, again, I'm following that book that I have recommended, simple, well done, and so I'm sticking with it. Satya, to tell the truth. To work with this precept, just watch all the ways you devise to bend the truth a little bit. We lie for many reasons: to spare someone's feelings, to protect ourselves or our reputations, to avoid confrontation. When you choose this precept to work on, you can investigate your reasons for not telling the truth. So generally speaking, I'm just going to give a short line for us to kind of latch onto, and that is living in a way that aligns with your highest truth. And then moving on to svadhyaya. Sva in the Sanskrit language means self, and adhyaya means inquiry or examination. This niyama can be summed up as know thyself. Self-observation, a willingness to uncover and dismantle one's delusions. This is hard work. We develop a self-image, a complex system of values, a concept of the world, certain patterns of behavior and strategies. In short, we create a movie, cast ourselves as the star, get on stage, and spend the rest of our life acting out the script. And again, I'm going to leave it at that. You get the idea that these 2 precepts are just, again, further along the line of the guidance that the system of yoga, the precepts of yoga, called the 8 limbs, have offered us as a way to really embrace a particular life. So yoga can be, if you choose that deep understanding and have an interest in that, it can be like a way of life. So just wanted to share that. I want to continue to share along those lines. So I'm going to ask you now to close your eyes and sit up tall. Then take a deep breath in through your nose and exhale it out of your mouth with the sound of a sigh. And then just to return to a breathing pattern that feels natural to you, breathing in and out through your nose or using your mouth or any way that just feels natural to you as you sit up taller. Connect your feet to the ground. Feel your bottom on the chair seat so you feel a sense of grounding throughout your whole body, connecting to this space that you're in. And turn palms up on your lap, if you will, just that open palm, the mudra of receptivity. This hand posture really speaks to a willingness and a readiness to receive. Soften your mouth. Breathe in and breathe out and pay attention to the breath. This class time, this commitment to spending an hour with yourself in this yoga environment is a way to settle the mind, not only strengthen the body, stabilize, strengthen, create more flexibility, all of that. But those very words could be used to what we're trying to do with our mind as well. So allowing your mind to rest into just the simple task of paying attention to your breathing. Because your mind wants and needs something to do. So let's just, offer up that simple task of paying attention to the breath, feeling the feeling of the breath, and just really embracing the experience of breathing now for just this moment so that you can transition into yoga and start to feel the difference in your body and just your whole demeanor by just settling into that simple task of noticing your breath. There's a quiet, a stillness. That's how I would describe it for myself. And as you breathe in and breathe out, just remind you of those 4 primary intentions for yoga. I'm kind of gone to the idea that these are the promises of our yoga practice: a vibrant and healthy body, alert and focused mind, loving and compassionate heart, lightness of being. Stay with your breath, eyes closed, so you can really center yourself. Big breath in through the nose. Exhale it out. Flutter your eyes open. And then join me standing up. Let's begin our practice today standing up near our chair. So if you'll move your chair in such a way or move yourself in such a way that you are near the high side, the back of your chair. Let's begin from here. I want you to find a wide stance. So just open up your feet a little wider than your hips, just so that it just feels like a wider foundational base. And then I want you to just start moving your hips from side to side. Let's just wake up the movement of the pelvis now, side to side movements. And let your knees bend to accommodate that. Don't lock anything up. Think of water. Think of the element of water. Our body is a fluid movement here. Side to side with the hips. And then introduce that hula hoop. So now the hips are coming forward as well. So you're circling the pelvis. You're trying to make this action about the pelvis. So don't let your whole upper body, move as much as you are the pelvis. You're trying to really isolate the movement there and exaggerate the movement. There's going to be a soft bend in the knee. You need that. Keep circling, same direction. Find your breath now. Notice your breath. We're going to change the direction of that circle. Our hula hoop goes the other way now, just loose, fluid movement. Think of that water element. Good. And then let's come back to a neutral position. Again, we're going to keep that wider stance. I'm going to ask you to grab hold of your block. If you've got your block, you don't have a block to use, don't worry, you can figure out something else. You don't even need to have something to hold on to, but it's kind of a neat prop for this. We're just going to switch that block around from hand to hand, getting our arms open wide. Again, a nice soft bend in the knee. We're going to wake up the upper body, the shoulders, as we just, it's a lightweight. I don't know about your block, mine is very lightweight. So it's not a big deal in terms of the weight bearing aspect of it. Just opening it up, switching it around, stay with the same direction that your handoff, doesn't change. Bring some awareness now to the belly. So as you're standing up tall, you're going to pull in the belly a little bit, engage that abdominal wall. And notice how your breath has changed tone a little bit. It's all good. You're just noticing it, not trying to change it or manipulate it. Stay with it. All of a sudden, that block is a little heavier, isn't it? Let's take that switch. So make that switch go in the other way. So the handoff just changes from one hand to the other, just a little switch. Waking up the upper body. Find your breath. We're going to bring that block in front of us now, holding on to it right in front of us, just a loose touch of the hands, just so it won't fall, and then lift up. And then lift that as though you're trying to push that block right up into the ceiling. You want your whole body to be engaged in that lift. Pull the belly in. Try to let your arms glide past your ears. Full breath in and full breath out. We're going to try a little side-to-side movement, keeping our arms in that parallel position. The block works great for that, doesn't it? It really keeps you honest about it. Full extension of your arms if you can, as little bend in the elbow as you can manage. Again, arms are gliding past your ears. So now we're protecting our neck, keeping our head, neck, and spine in alignment with those arms extended that way. Let's bend and hold. Doesn't matter which side you landed on, but just try that little bend and hold it. Full breath in and out. Come back to center. We're going to go the other way. Arms gliding past the ears. At least you just feel that intention. And when we come back to center, I want you to slip the block behind you now, just holding on to the block behind you, and just pull the block away from the back body, trying to lift it up to the point where that's it. That's as far as I can go, and we're holding that. And then feel that expansion through your front body. Feel that expansion across your collarbones. I'm barely holding on to my block. It's just lightly held. I'm not gripping it at all. But I feel a lot of stretch right through here. Let's bend the knees quite a bit. And then let's just go ahead and release the block to the floor. Bend the knees and bring your block all the way down. Maybe find the height that works best for you. Surrender the weight of your head if you can, so that you're looking down and underneath yourself. And we've got a wider stance. Your feet are not very close together. You're looking down and underneath yourself. Forward fold, Uttanasana. Jump your hands to your thighs. So let's let go of that block and jump our hands to the thighs. And as we come up, I'm going to turn to the side so you see what I'm talking about. We've got a nice strong position with our arms. Our hands are pressing into our thighs. We can do cat and cow from here. So we're going to round the back body into that C-shaped curve of the cat. And then we're going to extend the chest and find that extended spine of the cow. This is done in vinyasa style. That means you're going to connect your breath to the movement. Try to exhale as you're rounding the back body. Chin tucks in towards your chest. Try to connect your inhale to the lift of the chest and the lift of the tailbone. So notice that shift in your spine, how you're changing the movement of the spine. a lot of movement through the pelvis, like we started with. This is really accomplished by tucking and tilting the pelvis. More. And let's hold it in that extended spine. Lift up your chest and then lift all the way up. Arms are going to lift you all the way up. Palms come together up and overhead. Big inhale. Exhale, hands at the heart. We bow into ourselves. Inhale back up and exhale, go wide with your arms. I'm going to move my block out of the way, so I'm just setting it on the chair for myself. Let's just stand next to the chair with one hand, that you could use the chair for support there. Arm comes up and over. Again, the distance between your feet is a little wider than our hips distance, so it's a little wider foundation. Lifting up and over. And then let's try the leg to lift up and down. So an external rotation, lifting up through that external rotation in that hip joint. Just a few more. We're going to alternate between that upper body, lower body. Good. And then back with both feet on the floor, up and overhead. Find your breath. So what our mind has been, assigned the duty of is to pay attention to the breath and to notice the sensation in the body, feeling our way in. Back to the leg. See if you can feel like your heel and your ankle is what's lifting. Just for that, just a little different awareness of it. And then back to a neutral position. Let's take a breath here, just catching up with our breathing. See if we can piece that all together, where we lift up the leg and we reach the arm over and hold. Let's give that for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we bring everything back to center. And I want you to just kick those legs out. Kick it out. Moving the chair to the other side. You might choose a different way to handle it. And again, a nice wide stance, just a little bit wider than hips distance. And we'll start with the upper body on this side now. Inhaling up. Cross the ear. That's our ideal location when we're reaching up and over. Full breath in and out. Let's do the lower body. Lifting up and down. Again, try to lift up through your ankle and heel. Like that's the engine for this movement. Feels different for me on this side. Side seems to like it a little better. We'll go back to the upper body. Up and overhead. It's nice to have the chair here, isn't it? Just to really give you some support, stability. Find your breath. Back to the lower body. Find your breath now. Stay with it. Maybe it gets a little louder. Ankle and heel, lifting your leg up. Pull the belly in now. Let's really make sure our abdominal wall is engaged. When we put this all together, we need the core strength of that. So pull your belly in and then add it all together. Push through the length of your leg. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we'll bring everything back to center. I want you to kick that all out. Kick. Now let's just bring one leg behind. So Just bring one leg behind the other and then see if you can get your feet as close together as they will go. This is that changing the center of gravity that I've been working on for the last few classes. Feel your feet now. Push into the ball mons of the feet, especially the big toe side. Feel those inner heels. Pull the belly in and then lift up. See if you can let go of the chair now and just find that T with her arms extended, palms up. Pay attention to your feet. Grab the chair anytime you need to. And then settle into your breath again. Notice just this shift of awareness, this new understanding of where your center is. Lift up if you can, palms together, and we're going to hold that. Palms lightly touch, arms are gliding past the ears. Let your shoulder blades slide down your back. You're not trying to crunch up and squeeze into your ears. Instead, we're trying to let those shoulder blades slide down the back. Find the breath now all the way through its cycle. Back to the T. And let's interlace the hands behind the back. Interlace your hands. Now you know how they fit, how they just naturally go into a little pattern. I want you to change that up. Wrap them around each other. Try a different place that you interlace, a different slot. Again, it's just this new awareness. Pull your hands back and away from your back body, just like you did a moment ago with the block behind you. Feel that expansion through your collarbones. Now pull the belly in. Pull the belly in really strongly. Full breath in and out. Hands are pulling away from the back body. Legs are squeezing. Feel the ball mons of your feet. Empty out that exhale every time. When we release, soften the arms, just release your hands. And let's get our feet back to their neutral position. I want you to shake those out. Now we're going to do the same thing with the legs crossed in the other way. So we want to crisscross behind the other leg. So, both legs got a chance to be in front. Find how that fits well. You're trying to get your feet together as much as they will, as much as you can manage to fit that in. Engage the belly like crazy. We want to really make sure the core is helping us to hold this. Lift up into that T. Feel your feet. Feel that core strength. Not so much so that it interrupts your breathing. You're not pulling your belly in so hard, so tight that your breathing all of a sudden is very disrupted. I want you to just pull it in so it's turned on. It's on instead of off. Lift up. Palms come gently together. Arms are right alongside the ear. Soften something now. Soften something. Deepen the breath. Good. And when we come out, we're going to do the same thing, interlacing the hands. Try to find a different pattern, a different way to interlace your fingers together. Pull back from your back body. Your hands are pulling back away from your back body as much as they'll go. Might be just a tad, any amount. Feel the expansion through your chest. Now let's engage the belly again. Make sure the belly is engaged. Find your full breath cycle all the way through. Great. Exhale completely. Let's relax our arms and uncross the legs back to their neutral position and shake that out. Shake. When you turn toward the back of the chair now, let's find our extended forward fold. So our hands are at the top of that chair. I want you to start stepping back to the L shape. We create that tabletop with our back. Feet are now hips distance apart, so don't have quite as wide a stance as what we've been working with so far. Bring them in a little bit. Bend and straighten if you need to. Bend and straighten, and just kind of make your way, flattening out the back, pulling the hips and buttocks back away from the chair. It's like the thigh bone is trying to pull back into those muscles in the back of your leg. One more full breath. Don't grip the chair, just let your hands set there. Let's take a couple steps forward, just a little tiny step forward, and then we're going to get the right leg up in the air. I've bent my elbows quite a bit. And then rounding the back body, this is another way to do the cat and cow, a little more complicated way. And then extend that leg behind you. So you're balancing on one strong leg. Bent leg is coming from a extended leg, bent knee and rounding into, so it's like we're trying to touch our nose to our knee, extending. I've got a real softness of my arms. It's all about straightening and bending the knee and rounding through the back body. See if you can find that pattern. If you need to watch me, so you're trying to get the hang of it, I want you to just completely disengage from the pose and just watch a minute and then get at it. Don't try to do it in the middle of your activity. Don't try to watch while you're in it. Let's hold the bent knee in toward our face. Let your head drop down, tucking the chin in towards your throat. Both feet to the floor. Let's slowly walk ourselves up to the chair and take a mountain pose break. Just stand tall, catching up with your breathing. Don't lock your knees. There's always just this softness about the knees. Much more stable that way. Good, let's do the other side now. We're coming back into that extended forward fold. Not so far back because we need a little slack here. And then we're going to bend that knee and draw it in toward our face. Extend the leg back. Round through the back body and then extend it. We've alternated, so now this other leg gets to hold us up and get strengthened in the process. The bones of the leg that you're standing on is getting strengthened and improved because you're putting some weight into it like that. Find your breath. You want to exhale completely. We're going to round it, hold it, round the back body, bent knee is coming in toward the face, and we're holding that. Exhale it out. Both feet to the floor and start walking towards the chair. Come up nice and easy. You find your mountain pose once again. Palms face forward. Find that full breath cycle. You got the chair right by you. So if you would close your eyes, you could always just hold on to the chair just so that you can really come within. Let's use that svadhyaya. Inquire within now as to what does this feel like? How do I feel as a result of this movement thus far? Connect with that feeling. Breathe all the way through. The full exhalation. Beautiful. Let's flutter the eyes open and let's position our chair now for some seated postures. So we're coming to the chair now with our block between our ankles. So you're away from the backrest, so come forward on your chair seat so you're not leaning back into the backrest. And then just take a moment to kind of balance yourself right to left and front to back. A little reminder about the map of the perineum, that pelvic floor. The sit bones from right to left, that bony prominence you feel as you sit, that's what gives us this connection to the map that I'm talking about. On the right to left, we have the sit bones. Front, it's like a diamond shaped map. The front reference is the pubic bone. So even though that's not touching the chair, it's definitely a reference within your pelvis. And then the tailbone in the back. So the pubic bone and the pelvis, and the tailbone are our front to back reference. So we balance front to back, we balance right to left, and we find that sweet spot right in the center. Inhale with me all the way up. Palms come together up and overhead. Exhale as you bow into yourself. Inhale up and exhale, go all the way down with our arms alongside the chair frame and pull back. A few cat and cow movements here in the seated posture now. As you extend your spine and let the arch of the back and then round through for that C-shaped curve. This again, it's vinyasa, connecting breath to movement. Extension is an inhale. The flexion or the rounding is the exhale. Next time we're coming into that rounded back, we're going to hold it, drop the chin to the chest, and go forward, 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 as far out in front of you as you can reach those arms, as far out in front of you, and lay your body right down on top of your thighs. See if you can get your knees to kind of nestle into your armpits. Let your head be heavy. Look down and underneath that chair. Let's deepen the breath so we can feel the movement of our belly as we breathe. We're all kind of smashed together here. This fold, so good for the digestive system. So breathe big into the belly here. Let your body fold into itself. Release the weight of your head. If you're trying to hold your head up, your neck will pay a price for that. See if you can release the weight of your head. One more full breath cycle. Jump one hand and then the other to your thighs. We're going to come up halfway. I want you to squeeze the block between your ankles and create a diagonal position with your back body. I'm going to turn so you could see if you were looking. Spread your wings. Your arms come away from the body. Your palms are facing down and you've got your wings spread and you're in a diagonal position with the back body. Hold that. Squeeze into the block. Feel your legs engage more and more. All of a sudden, this seems like you are entirely supported with the strength of your legs. Find your breath. Let those strong legs lift you all the way up. Palms going to come together up and overhead. I'm going to tuck that under. Exhale as you bow into yourself. Inhale up and exhale, go wide. Let's remove the block. So kick that underneath the chair, if you will. Make sure you're far enough forward so you can get some leg movement. We're going to really go to town here. I want you to just start going, lifting the feet up. It's like you're running almost. So the back body is going to lean back just a tad, but not all the way into the backrest. And we're just moving here. We're just taking a little trot. Couple more. Stay with it. Release all the way down and try a wider stance. Catch up with your breath now. Nice and tall through the length of the spine. A little wider stance with your feet. Inhale up. Exhale heart. Inhale up. Exhale twist. So we're going to turn. Let both arms come to the side. Do a few single shoulder rolls. We've got a wider stand between our legs. Sit on your hand if you can and see if you can just start low and work your way up for a nice twist. Letting your head and neck turn when you're ready to come into that part of this twist. Don't rush it. Let's deepen the breath. The fuel for all of our postures is the breathing. So when we're in a twist, it's no different. We're trying to find the twists and turns of our body and let the breath follow all that. Unwind your head and then your shoulders back to a neutral position. Let's roll the shoulders, change the direction whenever you want. Inhale up. Exhale, heart. Inhale up. Let's twist the other way. All the way over. So set it up. Single shoulder roll. Feel your feet to the ground. Scoot your hand underneath you if that's a good choice for you. Keep working your twist. You're trying to deepen it and breathe your way in. Turning your head finally. Feeling that in your neck. Keep your feet planted. Strength of your legs, big part of the pose. Deepen that breath all the way through that exhale. Good. Let's exhale completely. Start by removing your head from the twist. So we turn the head and then we turn the shoulders and we're back into a neutral position. Let's bring our feet back within the frame of the chair. Let's try lifting up in a full body stretch. So let's try with the arms come up first. Maybe one leg at a time. Lifts up. So everything's stretching up. You're kind of tilting back. As a matter of fact, I'm going to give you a side view. So we've got one leg extended, arms are up. Let's just switch the legs, give both a chance. And then see if you're ready to get everything stretched. So you've got both feet up off the floor, arms are reaching up, you're breathing in and out, kind of a pull back a little bit. There's a tilt to the back. You're not trying to keep yourself upright. You got to have a tilt here to balance that out. Let's deepen the breath one more time. And then one foot at a time comes back to the floor. And then the arms can come back down. Now a reset. So whatever your body seems to need from that, to reset and feel like you're back to a place of balance and stability within your body. Now let's do some mismatch. I don't think that's a word. We're going to match up opposite limbs. So let's get one foot to lengthen out, and the opposite limb, the opposite arm is coming up. So we've matched up opposite limbs. And then I want you to do that in a movement that you can keep up with, a pace that you're just automatically matching those two limbs. And this is good for the brain to make that connection, good for your energy body as well. At a pace that works well for you. So if what you're seeing me doing seems way too fast, I want you to just slow it down to the place that feels natural for you, doable. When it feels like you've done it the same number of times on each side, let's release back to a neutral position. Remember, we're not leaning into the back rest, we're forward of that so we can pull up, lengthen the spine, and let our core strength help us to stay upright. Let's everybody grab hold of their left knee and thigh, their left thigh underneath, interlacing those hands right underneath your heavy leg. And then push down, let the leg try to draw itself back to the floor, but you're not letting it. And so notice how your arms have to have really engaged here. So a little upper body strengthening here. Get those arms a little stronger as we're trying to drag that foot and leg back to the floor, but our arms are not going to let it. Full breath in and out. Find your breath here. Feel the strength of those arms. Excellent. And then we're going to lift up and we're hugging the knee into the chest. Let's move the foot around here. Hugging the knee into the chest, the thigh bone's coming up into your chest, and we're moving the foot around. Spine is long. Standing leg is well positioned. Keep us balanced and secure. Find that fullness of breath. Spread the toes, get a lot of movement through your ankle and all of the joints of the feet. Let's straighten that leg straight out. Think about doing the splits. Try to lift up now. I'm going to ask you to hold on to the underside of your thigh and don't work your hands down toward the calf and into the foot. Not yet. Let's just hold the underside of the thigh, not the knee. We're not at the joint, and we're lifting up. Don't make your arms do all the work. See if you can get your leg to employ so that you can lift up higher and higher any amount as you're pushing through that heel for a straight leg with no bend in the knee. Now here's a trick. See if you can soften your toes. Don't stop. Keep working it, pushing through the length of your leg through the heel. Excellent. Now let's bend that knee, hug it in. I want you to grab hold of now your shin. So we're bringing our hands to the shin instead of the underside. So that's going to be our balance. We're holding in, pulling in, and let's extend the other leg away from the floor. It's hovering above the floor. So we've got a pull and a push going on. The straight leg is pushing out away from the chair, and the pull is the bent knee in toward the belly. Both feet are flexed. Let's deepen the breath. And then disengage, whichever seems like the timing of that, what leg has to go down first, that's up to you. So just disengage. Any reset your body might need. Then we're going to move into the other side. We're interlacing the hands underneath the thigh. And this is the strengthening part where you're going to push down. It's like you're going to try to let that foot push down into the floor again. And your arms have to super engage to keep that from happening. So there's this pull and push going on, isn't there, in this as well. So feel that full engagement of your arm muscles now as your leg tries to get heavy and push itself back to the floor. Deepen the breath. Don't get tight in your jaw. Your face doesn't have to get tight for this. Just strong arms. Excellent. Now let's soften that and hug that knee into the chest. This is where we're going to move the foot around. Really get it moving. Spread your toes. Pull the belly in so your spine can stay strong and long. Keep moving your foot. And feel it. Feel all the muscles in your legs that engage when you're moving your foot around. Get real curious about all those connections. Yeah. Catch up with your breath. We're going to bring the hands to the shin bone now. Pull in. Pulling in. Oh, I forgot the extension. We got to move backwards here. Let's extend. We got to do the splits. Sorry about that. Push through the heel. So we're interlaced hands underneath the thigh. And then we're going to lift up. Keep lifting. Use the strength of your leg as much as you can. I know your arms and hands really want to help out here. And they do. But let's let the leg really do what it can. You're just really trying to let that leg lift on its own accord. Keep your standing leg in place. So you got a good foundation. Soften your shoulders. Keep working the splits. Breath might get noisier, that Ujjayi breath. That's in the book. I love the breath practices that book introduces and reinforces. Now let's go. Okay, now it's time to grab hold of the shin for the pull and the push. Pull in and extend away. So Extended leg is hovering above the floor. Your back body is at a slant. That's going to be the way this will balance. A little bit of a diagonal slant there, but try not to lean into the back of the chair if you can. Use your core strength, pull in the belly. Deepen the breath. Soften the mouth. And then let's disengage from that. So bring everything back to neutral position and find some reset. I'm going to suggest we do a couple of the cow and the cat. So let's get the arms to come glide past the chair, round through the back body. Now, if your body is needing something else, that you started moving into something else, trust that. By all means, follow the guide within. Fold forward now. You'll get to open your feet as wide as you might need to. Reach, 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 so you can get your armpits to come around your knees if possible. Let your head hang heavy, and then breathe deeply into your belly. Big belly breaths. Let go of the weight of your head. Don't try to look out, look down and under. Just feel your way in. You don't need to watch it being done. You feel your way in. Exhale completely. Get your hands to your thighs and start bringing yourself up. We're kind of meet halfway. Squeeze your elbows into your waist. Find that diagonal length of your spine. Back of your head, neck and spine in alignment. Let's spread the wings. Feel your legs now. Push into your feet. Push into your feet. Feel the leg muscles engage when you push into your feet. Now find that breath. Shoulder blades are drawing toward each other. We're going to let our arms help us lift up all the way up. Palms come together. We're going to hold that. Palms touching, lift and breathe. Exhale, heart. Inhale up. And exhale all the way around. Good. I want you to just open and close your hands. Open, close. Feel the joints of your hands and fingers. Circle around. Make a soft fist. Circle around. So you feel that in your wrist joints. Some release. Some movement. So just getting some movement throughout your hands and your wrists in any old fashion you can design. And then let's meet with the extension of that T, palms up, thumbs pointing behind. Deepen the breath. Palms face forward. We're going to find the diagonal reach. Make sure that your arms are in the same plane. So you don't want one arm way forward and the other, you want the arms to be in the same plane with your body. Look up to the hand reaching up. And then work your neck out a little bit. So as you're holding this diagonal expansion, move your head gently around. Mindfully look for ways that you can introduce movement and release, stretching into your neck. Pay attention to your neck. Explore ways that you can find some release, some stretch. Exhale completely as you bring your head back to its neutral position. We're going to switch those arms so the other one is up. And now remember, your arms are to be in the same plane. Palms are spread apart, stretch open. Look up and do the same thing over here. Mindfully now, pay attention to how your neck feels and ways you could take care of that. You could offer more stretch, some movement, some paying attention. Breath, all of that. Keep your feet grounded. You really feel connected and very stable through your lower body. You get all the permission in the world to move your head around and find some stretch and relief for tightness in the neck. Breathe all the way through your cycle. Don't forget that exhale needs to go all the way out. Let's unwind so the head is forward. We're going to bring our arms now to this cactus-like position. Settle into your breath. You're trying to get your elbows up as high as your armpits are. And then we're going to close and open. Close and open. Let's move into the W. So we start here, but we bring those elbows down and pull the hands back and feel that you're really squeezing the shoulder blades together toward the spine as you draw your elbows toward your waist and pull your hands back. So you feel a little bit of a back bend. Now feel your feet to the ground, pull the belly in. Lots going on here. Find your full breath. We're going to extend back to the T shape. And then for the L, we bring our elbows right down into the waist and we've got our hands open wide, palms up. Now find where you can go with that. Maybe your hands are more facing forward because there's just not that much mobility. So find where you can go in opening the hands away from each other. There's a range here you're trying to explore. See if you can go to the limit of that range and hold it. Get strong with your core. Excellent. Now we'll soften. Start to soften, soften, release, and soften. Good. I want you to scoot back now into your chair, into the backrest. Close your eyes as soon as you're comfortable with that. If there's still some movement your body needs to unwind before you can come into your Shavasana, please do that reset. Do that unwinding, the movement that your body looks for. But then we'll meet and settle into this relaxation, letting the chair hold us, completely support us. And we just come inward. We draw that light of awareness inward, which is exactly what the Svadhyaya, the niyama of self-inquiry, is all about. Soften the tongue, relax your facial muscles. Let your shoulders relax and soften. Hands wherever they feel comfortable, that your arms are able to relax, not trying to hold anything up. Maybe palms are up because you like that sensation of that mudra of receptivity. It's taken on a real sacredness for me. So I understand if you choose that there's some connection now. We've done it enough that we really feel a connection to that posture. Let the breath just slow itself down, and you're still allowing your mind that one assignment. Follow the breath. You know, yoga, I've mentioned the last time we met, the yoga is considered a practice of subtraction. That we're peeling away the tension and the idea of ourselves, you know, that is false or just doesn't serve us well. And we're trying to peel that away and find our inner light, our true nature. This is the time for that. Peel away. And often we talk about that we live our lives in a sense, at a state of thinking and doing. I mean, that fits for me. thinking and doing. 90% of my life, that's how I engaged with life. And then yoga introduces, and other practices do the same, but this one for sure gives us a window into the idea of feeling and being. Feeling and being. And I'd like to invite you to use that as your mantra as you breathe in, you've been feeling, and as you breathe out, being. Feeling, being. Just an invitation to your practice, following your guide. Let the chair hold you and support you in your journey now of rest, relaxation, feeling, and being. Notice the feeling in your body as you breathe, where the breath makes itself known in your body. Relax your face and your tongue. Relax your shoulders. There's a particular area in your body where you hold stress. You know you continue to do it. We can talk later about, let's see if we can change that pattern. But for now, we know where it is. Be very loving and supportive of that area in your body. No judgment. Bring that part of your body, the feeling and being mantra. Let's take a full breath in through the nose. Exhale it out of your mouth with a sound of ah. One more time, inhale through your nose. Big inhale, exhale it out like a big release valve. Ah. Let your breath just return to its normal rhythm, and let's pull ourselves away from the back of the chair so we can sit upright. I invite you to continue to close your eyes though. But now we've just come back to a more upright position, lengthened through the spine. Palms are going to come together. I want you to bring your thumbs to rest on the third eye. That's right in the center of your forehead. So palms are together in the prayer position, but instead of at your heart, they're right there at the third eye. And I want you to cultivate a sense of gratitude here. Run through a list. Who are you grateful for? What are you grateful for? This experience, this literal experience and sensation of gratitude now. And let that ripple through your body, through your face, through your chest, down through your belly. Palms now come to your legs, right at the top of your thighs, and you're just letting gratitude make its way down through your body. Feel this gratitude root deeply into Mother Earth, grounding you, energizing you, and ever so gracefully supporting you within this day. Palms come together at the heart. We bow into ourselves and to one another. Namaste, my friends. Thank you for joining me. If you're joining me on YouTube, please subscribe to my channel.
Thanks, Julie.
Thanks, Julie.